know we need to adjust. But how do we do it? Now that we're confronted with living with our family, in our case today, with our spouse, as we talk about marriage. Now that you're living with your spouse, you're together 24/7. I was talking to one of our people, and she was saying, we've not stayed together this long since our honeymoon. And now we've been discovering a lot of things. There's a lot of conflict, but there are also a lot of discoveries. So how do we pivot in our marriage? What are the things we need to be aware of that we can somehow tweak? Or things that will remind us that this is what's really important. In Jeremiah chapter 17, in the English Standard Version, it tells us so many things about who we are. Verse 9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? This is a very, very important verse of Scripture because it tells us the limitations of man, our limitations as human beings. That we need something outside of ourselves to tell us who we are, where we have gone wrong, and how do we adjust our lives to fix it. And that's really the problem with a lot of self-help philosophies. Self-help philosophies are basically that, still based on the self. It's a philosophy that tells you you can help yourself. The problem is you. So it's like trying to cure yourself, but you're dying. There has to be an external force outside tending you, telling you this is what's wrong. And really, if there is a relationship that would always tell us we're wrong, and that's the relationship of husband and wife. Coach Alex and I are together in the mission house, and he would tell me a story. So one of our people told him, during this pandemic, me and my wife, we just agreed on doing workshop. Doing workshop? What kind of workshop? Yes. And the husband says, I work, she shops. Okay, so it's funny. We have a lot of those jokes. So I work, she shops. And if there's a relationship really that would be in our face to tell us that we have a problem, things need to be fixed, that's marriage. And the beautiful verse of Scripture that comes after verse 9, we read in the Good News translation. It says, verse 10, I, the Lord, search the minds and test the hearts of people. Even if we don't believe in God, we have a standard of what's right and what's wrong. But the next question is, where did that come from? You might say it comes from your conscience. You might say it's a social construct. But even society bases its values on something. You might say it's for human flourishing. Yes, of course. But what defines human flourishing? You see, you will have to ask and ask and ask and ask and ask until you finally arrive to what it means to be human. What does it mean to be really happy in this life? What is it really that satisfies the heart? And it's good during this time of pandemic because we begin to ask ourselves these big questions. These big questions that we just put in the back burner of our mind and our heart. But we don't have time to answer because of our busyness, because of our careers, because of our pursuit of the American dream. These things somehow put these important issues in the sidelines. But now, it's right there in the center of our relationships. Why are we together? Why even fight for this relationship? But now, before we continue, I'd like to encourage, if you're beginning to lose hope, I'd like to encourage you, please do not lose hope. Your marriage, your family is really, 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 really worth fighting for. And that's the reason why we want to pivot.
Hello everyone, thank you for watching our video. Make sure you check out the description box below for all of our discussion questions, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share all of our videos in our channel with your family and friends. Thank you again for watching.